Okay, well, sometimes when you're traveling to foreign destinations, things can go wrong.
No, Paul, we don't see your shared screen yet.
Oh, really? Uh, hmm. All right.
My screen? No.
Still don't see it?
I
No,
see it.
no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I've hit the share screen and it's not sharing.
Yeah, Suhas had the same trouble.
I'm seeing Paul's screen.
You are?
Yes,
Uh,
I now see Ted.
Well, those are people's faces.
I
We're
don't know.
talking about the shared desktop.
Yeah, the shared desktop's something else.
I see it now. You're
See it now?
talking live.
Yeah, we can see Paul in between.
Okay, hang on. Okay, can you see? Well, I guess it's hard to make this full screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, Ted. It's just who's talking.
How about now? Is that working
That's
better?
it.
Yes, that's working, Paul.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, thanks.
What did you do different so the rest of us can do it too?
I have no idea what I just did.
Okay. Okay.
Hey guys, this is Dave Kenyon. I've found in these Zoom
Okay,
meetings.
can you see the image on my screen now that I'm expanding?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, Paul.
Yes, we can.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so sometimes when you're traveling to foreign countries, things can go wrong. I had planned an expedition to Iraq about 5 years ago and planned to observe from this observatory. And as you can see, there are some minor issues with observing there. Can you see the image of the observatory on the screen?
Yes, yes, very well.
Yes.
Okay, so however, although I've not been to Iran for an astronomical event, I was able to establish contact with Atila Poro some years ago. And let me try to unshare this image and come up with another one in just a moment. Atila Poro is 39 years old and was born in the northern part of Iran. He's of Turkmenistan descent. If you notice that Turkmenistan is a country just to the north of Iran. His first astronomical experience was when he was 9 years old and he observed Saturn through a neighbor's telescope. He recalls he watched it for 5 hours and he had a bad cold at the time. But later on, he became pretty serious about astronomy. In 1992, when there was a lunar eclipse, as seen in Iran, but he wasn't able to watch it except on television. He managed his first astronomy group at the age of 12 when he was introduced to Dave Galt in Australia and thus began his interest in occultations. At the age of 16, he became the director of the Iranian Amateur Astronomy Association. And later he became editor-in-chief of an astronomical journal in Iran and served as a spokesperson locally for all things astronomy to the media. He has a master's degree in astrophysics that he got in 2005. He has an observatory and planetarium company of his own, which has built a number of such structures in the country. He is also editor of the IOTA Middle East publication called Journal of Occultation and Eclipse. He's launched a class of semi-professional activities doing cooperative work with Turkish astronomers, and his interests have expanded to binary asteroids, Pluto, variable stars, and exoplanets. So let me bring up one more image here. Can you see that?
Yes.
On the screen share? Okay, recently he invited me to give a talk on Instagram on occultations, in which 174 people were online and listened, and that was pretty cool. So I appreciate that, and I wanted to now try to get off my screen sharing and give it over to Atila Poro. Stand by, let me see if I can fix this problem. Okay, that should be able to see that I've stopped sharing my screen. Roger, can you confirm?
Yes, your screen is no longer being shared. And Attila, if you want to go ahead now and
Yes.
share your screen, and you can begin your
Mhm.
presentation.
Okay. Hear my voice? Good. My
We
voice
hear
is
it
good.
just fine. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much to Paul, and I surprised it. And because of Zoom application is not accessed in my country from the company of Zoom. So I have to connect with you with this meeting in another way. So I couldn't publish my PowerPoint. I just can talk. And if you are ready, I can start it.
Yes, we're ready. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So greeting from Iran to all of people here in this meeting. Glad to be able to connect you directly for the first time at this meeting, I think. As you know, my name is Atila Poro from IOTA Middle East. I live in Iran. IOTA Middle East was established in 2010 during the first international occultation workshop in the north of Iran. And I remember David Donham sent us a video and had talk and announced us that the Middle East section is acceptable for IOTA. And we start very hard work in the Iran and Middle East. This is just a short report about IOTA Middle East activities in the last year. I mean, 2019 and 2020 until now. I have classified them into two categories. Number one is about devices and applications. We tried to raise funds so we could buy a video timing device until now, but our financial situation does not allow this. So we have no video timing device in IOTA Middle East yet since 10 years, unfortunately. We don't have financial support from anywhere here, and most of who work with the IOTA are students, so whom it's not possible to provide it. Some friends in IOTA worldwide insist that we do video timing after 10 years, and sometimes they don't review or visual reports. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I didn't want to inform them about our problems because they are not live here and they couldn't know about our problem in the Middle East, and it is more difficult than other parts of the world. However, we tried to do things in the creative ways as much as possible. That's why with the help of Mr. Dave Gold, we first went to make a device that will tell us the time via GPS. We made an example of it about, I think, 4 years ago. This device was used for visual timing. These tools cost a lot to build in many numbers. So with the help of 3 of our members in IOTA Middle East, we created an Android mobile application 2 years ago for based GPS timing. It's named Sky Timing. It's available on the IOTA Middle East website. It's free. The accuracy of this application was 10 times more than the previous device, and we made it available to everyone for free. Last year, we also released the second version of Sky Timing, and we improved it. And the new version you can also record your voice and analyze your voice. And I think it's very good accuracy. On the other hand, last year we tried to make video timing tools, tools with the help of some of our members' knowledge. After 3 months of work, we were able to perform the first successful test by drawing some sensitive parts of this device. And we are trying to remove its financial barriers. The test was very successful, and it was very good resolution. And this thing, if we haven't problem with the financial, I think we can give it until end of this year. We also did an exciting test by myself and Mr. Afshin Halavati. We have introduced a method whose timing accuracy is between the most accurate visual timing and video timing. This is very interesting method, I think, since the most observer in Iran have a DSL camera, and that can be connected there on the telescope. The results were published in the form of an article in GOE 6. Maybe you know, IOTA published a journal since 7 years, more than 330 articles there. It is the journal, the form of published just the articles. If you like, you can go to IOTA Middle East website and see the articles. Some of them about occultation, and some of them about other eclipsing masses in the sky. Okay, category 2 is about our project in Iran. Amateur astronomers in Iran are very young. Many of them are very young students. So they don't stay in one subject in astronomy for a long time. So to get more introduced occultation for local astronomical groups in Iran, we have about more than 100 groups in Iran, amatorial group in Iran, as well as the organized activities. We launched a project named APTO, Astronomical Project on Timing Occultation, APTO. This project is about lunar occultations by visual timing. All groups use sky timing 2 for this project. The project was well received by amateur astronomers, and it has now reached its third project. We are now doing the APTO 3. During these 3 projects, 19 astronomical groups in Iran participate. We have published the result in 2 articles. They are published in GOE. In our opinion, the article format can be used as a report of activities and also have some analysis and compare accuracy of for timing. We will continue this project, although observing activities have been stopped because of the coronavirus now. We have to, we will start it again maybe in this summer. Okay, what are doing now? What we are doing now? We are recently received an observation data of a star occultation by Pluto with an Iranian observatory. And a team of 6 members is working on this data. They calculated Pluto radius and atmosphere height with the different methods in a very good accuracy, and they compare with other results. They are working on the history of this type of study. I mean occultation by Pluto, and want to examine the theoretical models by comparing change in the thickness of the Pluto's atmosphere during the time. I think this study will be completed by the end of this year. It's very good that the accuracy of the reviews in the occultation method is much more accurate than other methods. There is also a group of members working on asteroids. They want to study the diameter of 3 asteroids, Vesta, Pyrrhotire, T, and Metis, and their rotation speed by 2 methods, photometry and occultation method. They obtain occultation of these 3 asteroids from the other observer, and an observatory in Iran has taken photometry of these 3 asteroids. They are working now about this. We want to compare these 2 methods. And our closest general program is the 8th IOTA Summer School of Astronomy in Iran, in the Middle East, which will be down in September for 5 days. It is 8th of our summer school. We had this school also in Turkey and Armenia before, and this year is in Iran. In each of this summer school, they teach about occultation, asteroids, TNOs, and also the other subjects like variable stars, exoplanet, and other things, because it's the summer school of astronomy. So this is the closest general program we are near that. And I would like to thank Paul Maley and from IOTA, and Eberhard Riedel from European IOTA for all their help and support. And maybe Paul forget, because we have published a book in Iran in Persian language in 2012. This is the book. Paul, I don't know do you remember or not. This is introduction of occultation, a lot of kind of occultation, and introduced some of the softwares and how they observe the occultation. This book published for 3 times in Iran, and I know many of astronomers in Iran have this book. Me and Paul wrote this book, and Paul, thank you for all of your help, scientific helps. Okay. We have also some international workshops in IOTA Middle East. Very closely, we work with Turkey and Armenia, especially Turkey. Last winter, we had a workshop in Adana University about asteroids, and also this is continued with other universities and other amateur astronomers in Turkey. Also, we connected with the Armenia Astronomical Society recently, and we have also a workshop there this year. And but the Arabian country, we have some problem, because there is not some more of amateur astronomers, and I don't know why they don't like more about occultation. And we try to connect with them too, because 2 years ago we had a workshop in Dubai, and we try to have more cooperation with them. And this is my report, short report. Thank you so much for this time. And if you have any question, I'm here. Thank you.
Atila, thank you very much. We were delighted to have your presentation. It's always good to hear, particularly it's interesting to hear what the new organizations such as Iran are doing. And it was very effective talk, and I'm glad that you were able to join us today. And I certainly wish you the best of luck in all your observations, and you can extend that to all your co-observers there in Iran. And may you have many,
thank you so much.
Many successful events. Any questions for Atila?
Thank you. I believe science and thank you.
Yes, I have a question, Terry in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just curious. It sounds like you've got this in your school system so that kids going through science have an opportunity to engage in projects that are occultation related. Was that correct, that you've got it in your schools and many students are being exposed to it through science curricula? Is that right?
Schools, we have some working on schools, if you mean about that. But in Iran, we have some problem of observation, especially for young people to go out of the town and they want to observing and because it's expensive. And but we have many young astronomers in Iran. I think about maybe 2,000 to 20,000 astronomers in Iran, very young astronomers. In the world, we have very famous sky pictures astronomers, amateur astronomers in the world. Maybe they are, some of them very famous. But in the school, after summer schools, we just accept about 20 students because or teaching or teach is by telescope and in the out of the classroom. So it is hard if you want to many people there. So because of these young people, they like to more about analyzing than observing. So we have to doing the both of them, observing and analyzing.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the answer.
Any other questions for Atila? Once again, Atila, thank you very much. And I assure you, we are always interested in what you have to say. And I'm glad you joined us today.
Thank you so much.
Next on the